In the next few minutes, I'm exposing the 10 coffee products hiding dangerous additives, record-breaking sugar loads, and ingredients banned across Europe behind labels you trust every single morning. From mold-contaminated instant coffee to a single drink packing 43 teaspoons of sugar, what you're about to discover will change the way you look at your daily cup. And here's the good news. Stick with me until the end, because I'll reveal the 4 brands that actually deliver on their purity promises. Let's separate real coffee from the chemical cocktails you've been sold. International Delight French Vanilla Creamer. Starting our countdown at number 10, International Delight French Vanilla is one of the best-selling flavored creamers in America. Nearly half of all households have had a bottle in their fridge at some point. Sounds innocent enough, right? A little splash to sweeten your morning coffee. But here's what that little splash actually contains. Each single tablespoon serving delivers 5 grams of added sugar. Most people pour 2 or 3 tablespoons per cup and drink 2 or 3 cups per day. That means before you've even eaten breakfast, you could be consuming 30 to 45 grams of sugar just from your creamer. That's more than a full-size Snickers bar, and the sugar isn't even the worst part. The ingredient list includes palm oil, sodium caseinate, and carrageenan. Palm oil is one of the most controversial ingredients in the modern food supply. Environmental investigations have linked its mass production to widespread deforestation, and from a health standpoint, it is one of the highest dietary sources of palmitic acid, a saturated fat associated with elevated LDL cholesterol. Carrageenan is a thickener derived from seaweed that has been the subject of ongoing scientific debate. A 2017 randomized clinical trial published in Nutrition and Healthy Aging found that patients with ulcerative colitis who removed carrageenan from their diets experienced significantly fewer relapses than those who continued consuming it. The European Food Safety Authority has repeatedly flagged degraded carrageenan as a potential concern for gut inflammation. And then there's the recall history. On February 21st, 2025, the FDA announced a Class 2 recall of over 75,000 bottles of International Delight creamers, including Cinnabon and hazelnut varieties, across 31 states due to spoilage that was making people sick. Just 4 months before that, their parent company Danone had to recall nearly 11,000 bottles of a zero-sugar holiday creamer because it actually contained sugar, a labeling failure that could be dangerous for anyone managing diabetes. That's the brand millions of people trust every morning, and it's only number 10. Starbucks Bottled Mocha Frappuccino. If you've ever grabbed one of those glass Starbucks Frappuccino bottles from the refrigerated section at your grocery store, you probably assumed you were getting something close to what they serve in the cafe. You're not. These bottles aren't even made by Starbucks. They're manufactured and distributed by PepsiCo under a licensing agreement. And what PepsiCo puts inside them should concern you. A single 13.7-ounce bottle of the mocha variety contains 48 grams of sugar. That's 12 teaspoons in one bottle. The American Heart Association recommends no more than 25 grams of added sugar per day for women and 36 grams for men. One bottle blows past both limits before lunch. The ingredient list includes the same carrageenan we just talked about, along with the legally undefined catch-all term natural flavors, which can represent dozens of chemical compounds that manufacturers are not required to disclose individually. And all of this comes in at 270 calories per bottle for what most people consider a quick coffee. But the sugar content in this bottle is nothing compared to what's coming later on this list. Java Monster Mean Bean. At number 8, we leave the grocery aisle and enter genuinely dangerous territory. Java Monster markets itself as a coffee energy hybrid, something to grab on the way to work. But what's inside these cans has been linked to serious medical emergencies. A single 15-ounce can of Java Monster Mean Bean delivers 188 milligrams of caffeine combined with taurine, guarana, ginseng, and L-carnitine. It also packs 34 grams of sugar and 220 calories, plus sucralose as an additional sweetener. You're getting both sugar and artificial sweetener in the same can. Here's where it gets disturbing. In 2012, the FDA disclosed that it had received reports of at least 5 deaths and more than 40 adverse events linked to Monster energy products. One of those cases involved a 14-year-old girl named Anaïs Fournier, who went into cardiac arrhythmia after consuming 2 24-ounce Monster cans within 24 hours. Another involved a 19-year-old named Alex Morris, who suffered a fatal cardiac arrest linked to his daily Monster consumption over a period of years. And as recently as May 2025, Italy's Ministry of Health recalled Java Monster, Vanilla, and Mocha varieties after testing revealed caffeine levels of 300 milligrams per can, exceeding Italian legal limits. The American Medical Association has voted to support restrictions on marketing energy drinks to minors, and multiple countries now regulate or ban their sale to children entirely. This is not coffee. This is a cardiovascular risk in a can, dressed up with a coffee label. Coffee Mate Original Powder. Now we come to a product that has been sitting on American kitchen counters and in office break rooms for over 60 years. Coffee Mate Original Powder is arguably the most recognized coffee creamer brand in the country. And the #1 ingredient on the label is not cream. It's not milk. It's corn syrup solids. The #2 ingredient is hydrogenated vegetable oil. In 2015, the FDA officially stripped partially hydrogenated oils of their generally recognized as safe status, determining they were a primary dietary source of artificial trans fats. The landmark 2006 study, published in the New England Journal of Medicine by Mozaffarian and colleagues, found that even a 2% increase in calories from trans fats was associated with a 23% higher risk of coronary heart disease. Coffee Mate's powder formula uses a labeling loophole. Because a single serving contains less than 0.5 grams of trans fat, they're legally permitted to print 0 grams trans fat on the label. But multiply that across 2 or 3 cups a day, every day, for decades, and the cumulative exposure adds up. What makes this particularly telling is that the same parent company, Nestlé, reformulated the product without hydrogenated oils for sale in several European countries where regulations are stricter. The ingredient list also includes mono and diglycerides, which food chemistry textbooks confirm contain measurable trans fatty acid content that escapes nutritional labeling entirely. And it contains sodium aluminosilicate as an anti-caking agent, which contributes dietary aluminum. The product that has been in your family's kitchen for generations may be one of the least healthy things you put in your body every day. 60 years of brand loyalty, and the first ingredient is still corn syrup. And it's only #7. Nescafé Clásico Instant Coffee. At #6, we shift from what's added to your coffee to what's created during the manufacturing process itself. And the concern here is acrylamide. Acrylamide is a chemical compound that forms when certain foods are heated to high temperatures. The International Agency for Research on Cancer classifies it as a Group 2A substance, meaning it is probably carcinogenic to humans. In 2015, the European Food Safety Authority went further, concluding that acrylamide in food is a genotoxic carcinogen with no identifiable safe level of exposure. According to the FDA's own survey data, Nescafé Clásico Dark Roast measured between 770 and 840 parts per billion of acrylamide. That's among the highest of any coffee product tested. For comparison, Folgers Classic Instant came in between 458 and 620 parts per billion, and Maxwell House ranged from 263 to 600. Generic store brand instant coffee tested as high as 1,080 parts per billion. The reason instant coffee consistently tests higher than brewed coffee is the manufacturing process. Spray drying, the method used for Nescafé Clásico and most major instant brands, subjects the coffee to extreme temperatures that generate significantly more acrylamide than traditional brewing or even freeze-drying methods. A standard cup of brewed coffee typically contains between 6 and 13 parts per billion of acrylamide. Instant coffee can contain 50 to 100 times that concentration. Every time you scoop that powder into hot water, you're getting a concentrated dose of a compound that the world's leading cancer research agencies have flagged for decades. But here's what most people don't realize. The next 4 items on this list aren't about hidden chemicals or manufacturing byproducts. They're about sugar. And the amounts will shock you. Starbucks Pumpkin Spice Latte. Every September, millions of Americans line up for the return of the pumpkin spice latte. It's practically a cultural event at this point. But what you're actually paying nearly $7 for is one of the most sugar-loaded beverages in the fast food industry. A venti pumpkin spice latte with 2% milk and whipped cream contains 470 calories, 64 grams of sugar, and 16 grams of fat, including half a gram of self-disclosed trans fat. Let me put that sugar number in perspective. 64 grams is 16 teaspoons. The AHA says women should consume no more than 25 grams of added sugar per day. One PSL delivers 2.5 times that limit. And here's the ingredient revelation that forced Starbucks into a very public reformulation. When the pumpkin spice latte launched in 2003, the recipe contained no actual pumpkin. None. It was artificial flavoring and sugar designed to taste like the idea of pumpkin. It took a viral public pressure campaign in 2015 before Starbucks added real pumpkin puree, and even in the current formula, sugar is still the #1 ingredient in the pumpkin spice sauce, with condensed skim milk second and pumpkin puree third. The whipped cream contains mono and diglycerides plus carrageenan. The pumpkin spice topping contains sulfites, which are a regulated allergen. And the drink's total sodium content hits 300 milligrams, turning what people think of as a treat into something closer to a liquid-processed meal. McDonald's McCafe Mocha Frap. At number 4, we arrive at one of the most popular drive-through coffee drinks in the world. And what's hiding inside a McDonald's McCafe Mocha Frap should make anyone think twice. A large Mocha Frap from McDonald's delivers 660 calories and 97 grams of sugar. That is 24 teaspoons of sugar in a single cup. For women, that's nearly 4 times the daily added sugar limit recommended by the American Heart Association. For men, it's almost 3 times. To put it another way, you would need to eat more than 2 full Snickers bars to match the sugar in one large McCafe Mocha Frappe. But the sugar isn't even the most alarming part. Look at the ingredient list for the Frappe base, and you'll find high fructose corn syrup, carrageenan, locust bean gum, and 3 artificial food dyes all in the same drink: red 40, yellow 5, and blue 1. Multiple studies have linked these synthetic dyes to hyperactivity in children, and California's 2023 Food Safety Act now restricts several of them in school cafeteria foods. Yet they remain in a drink that parents buy for their kids at the drive-thru every day. The chocolate drizzle adds hydrogenated coconut oil, a direct source of trans fats. McDonald's McCafe Mocha Frap is one of the few major coffee chain products that manages to combine a confectionery-level sugar load with 3 artificial colors and a confirmed trans fat source all in the same cup. That's not coffee. That's dessert with a caffeine kick and a chemical coloring job. And that's only number 4. Starbucks Venti Caramel Frappuccino. Starbucks makes this list twice, and for good reason. The Venti Caramel Frappuccino with whipped cream is their flagship cold blended drink, and it is a nutritional disaster masquerading as an afternoon coffee. The numbers alone are staggering. A single venti carries 470 calories and 72 grams of sugar. That's 18 teaspoons. Nearly 3 times the AHA's daily added sugar limit for women, gone in 1 cup. And unlike a dessert you'd eat slowly, most people finish this in 20 minutes through a straw while scrolling their phone barely registering the amount of sugar they just consumed. The ingredient roster reads like an industrial chemistry inventory. Mono and diglycerides, carrageenan, potassium sorbate, corn syrup, soy lecithin, and sulfites in the caramel sauce, which is a regulated allergen that some individuals are highly sensitive to, yet it's rarely called out when you order at the counter. Starbucks has also faced significant legal challenges over its product claims. A class action lawsuit alleged that Starbucks systematically underfilled its lattes by approximately 25%. A separate ongoing suit has challenged the company's 100% ethical coffee sourcing marketing claims. And none of Starbucks' default espresso beverages use organic coffee. You're paying premium prices for conventional coffee loaded with sugar and additives. If number 3 has you concerned, brace yourself. The top 2 items on this list are in a league of their own. Keurig K-Cups. At number 2, we move beyond ingredients and into an entirely different kind of deception. Because nearly every American over the age of 40 owns a Keurig machine, and the company just got caught lying. On September 10, 2024, the Securities and Exchange Commission fined Keurig Dr. Pepper $1.5 million for misrepresenting K-Cup recyclability in their 2019 and 2020 annual reports. The SEC investigation revealed that 2 of the largest recycling companies in the United States, operating more than a third of all domestic recycling facilities, had told Keurig directly that they would not accept K-Cup pods. Keurig labeled them recyclable anyway. That wasn't the first time. In 2022, Keurig paid a $10 million class action settlement for false recyclable labeling on pods sold between 2016 and 2022. The pods have been generating billions of units of plastic waste for years, with an estimated 9.8 billion K-Cups sold worldwide in 2014 alone. Laid end to end, that's enough to circle the Earth more than 10 times. But the environmental fraud is only half the story. A 2025 peer-reviewed study from the University of Birmingham, published in the journal Science of the Total Environment, measured an average of 43 microplastic particles per liter in coffee brewed from pods. The plastic polymers matched the capsule materials. A separate 2020 study from the University of Connecticut detected estrogenic chemicals, including BPA, benzophenone, and debutyl phthalate, in 100% of the 22 capsule coffee brands they tested. Every single one. Even the man who invented K-Cups has disowned them. John Sylvan, the inventor, told The Atlantic he feels bad that he ever created them and compared the product to a cigarette for coffee, calling it a single-serve delivery mechanism for an addictive substance. He sold his stake in the company for $50,000 in 1997. Keurig is now worth billions. In December 2014, the Consumer Product Safety Commission recalled approximately 7.1 million Keurig Mini Plus brewers after at least 90 people reported burn injuries. You're paying a premium for pods that leach plastic into your morning coffee, contain confirmed endocrine disruptors, can't actually be recycled despite what the label says, and were disavowed by their own creator, and Keurig has the SEC fine to prove it. Dunkin' frozen coffee and vanilla bean culotta, taking the #1 spot as the single worst coffee product you can buy in America, is not one drink, but an entire category from a brand that millions trust as their everyday, working-class alternative to Starbucks. Dunkin' has built its reputation on being the affordable, no-nonsense coffee shop. But what they're serving in their frozen and blended drinks is anything but straightforward. A large 32-ounce Dunkin' Vanilla Bean Culotta contains 850 calories and 174 grams of sugar. Let that number settle for a moment. That is 43.5 teaspoons of sugar in a single drink. It is nearly 7 times the American Heart Association's daily added sugar limit for women. In one cup, Your grandmother probably didn't consume 174 grams of added sugar in an entire week. If you think that's the outlier, it isn't. A large Dunkin' frozen coffee delivers 720 calories and 142 grams of sugar, along with 295 milligrams of caffeine. A large caramel swirl. Iced coffee adds up to 520 calories and 79 grams of sugar. These are not specialty items hidden in the back of the menu. These are drinks that people order every single morning on their way to work. Parents hand them to their teenagers in the car. Couples grab them on road trips. The branding says America runs on Dunkin'. But what America is actually running on is a sugar payload that would alarm any cardiologist if they saw it written on a patient's food diary. And it doesn't stop at the counter drinks. Dunkin's bottled coffee line uses gellan gum and undisclosed natural flavors. Their in-store extra creamer contains carrageenan and 5 grams of added sugar per single tablespoon. So when you pour Dunkin' creamer into Dunkin' coffee, you're stacking sugar on top of additives that have been questioned by food safety authorities for years. The combination of record-breaking sugar content, misleading everyday coffee branding, and an additive-loaded creamer system that compounds the problem with every pour earns Dunkin' the dubious honor of the worst coffee product in America, and it's sitting in millions of cup holders right now. After all of that, you probably need some good news. And honestly, you deserve it for making it this far. Here are the 4 coffee brands that nutrition experts and independent testing confirm are actually worth your money, backed by clean ingredients, transparent sourcing, and real third-party verification. These are brands that prove coffee can still be what it was always supposed to be. Roasted beans and water, nothing else hiding behind the label. Kicking Horse Coffee. Starting our safe list at number 4, Kicking Horse is the easiest swap you can make on your very next grocery run. This Canadian roaster is 100% USDA organic, audited annually by EcoCert and 100% Fair Trade certified. Every bean is shade-grown Arabica sourced from small farmer cooperatives in Peru, Colombia, Sumatra, Ethiopia, and Guatemala. Their decaf is processed using the chemical-free Swiss water method, meaning no chemical solvents touch the beans at any point. At $10 to $15 per bag, Kicking Horse is available at Target, Walmart, Whole Foods, and Amazon. This is proof that clean coffee doesn't have to break the bank. Life Boost Coffee. At number 3, Life Boost earns its spot specifically for the over 40 audience. Many coffee drinkers in this age range deal with acid reflux, and Life Boost has built its entire brand around being genuinely low acid. The beans are USDA, organic, non-GMO, fair trade, single origin from Nicaraguan highlands, shade-grown, and small-batch sun-dried. The company claims third-party testing for over 400 contaminants, including mycotoxins, heavy metals, and pesticides. One fair caveat here: unlike our number 1 pick, Life Boost does not publicly publish its lab certificates on its website. They provide them upon request. That's not a red flag, but it is a level below full transparency. For anyone whose stomach can't handle conventional coffee anymore, Life Boost is the real deal. Available direct and on Amazon at around $35 per bag. 4 Sigmatic Mushroom Coffee. Claiming the number 2 spot, 4 Sigmatic takes a fundamentally different approach. Their coffee is USDA, organic, fair trade, sourced from small family cooperatives in Honduras, growing beans at 5,500 feet elevation, and third-party tested for heavy metals, mycotoxins, mold, yeast, and pesticides. What sets them apart is the addition of functional mushrooms: lion's mane for cognitive focus, chaga for immune support, or cordyceps for sustained energy, depending on the blend. Each cup contains roughly half the caffeine of conventional coffee, which is exactly what many health-conscious adults over 40 report wanting. Less jitter, more clarity. Available at around $17 to $20 per bag on their website, Amazon, and most major retailers. Purity Coffee, taking the top spot as the cleanest, most transparent coffee brand in America. Purity Coffee sets a standard that every other company should be measured against. This is the only major coffee brand that publicly publishes its third-party laboratory results directly on its website. Every batch is tested by Silica Maria Nutri Sciences, an independent lab in Illinois, for mold, yeast, ochratoxin A, aflatoxins, pesticides, lead, cadmium, and copper. Antioxidant levels are independently verified by the Federal University of Rio de Janeiro. The certifications speak for themselves. USDA Organic, Smithsonian Bird Friendly, Rainforest Alliance B Corp certified, and specialty grade with a Q score of 80 or higher, placing it in the top 1% of all coffee produced worldwide. Purity roasts on a proprietary, smokeless, algorithm-controlled roaster designed to maximize antioxidant content and minimize acrylamide formation, then nitrogen flushes every bag for freshness. At $24 to $30 per 12-ounce bag, this is premium-priced coffee. But when you've just seen what the cheap alternatives are hiding, the investment in your health makes sense. Available direct from their website and on Amazon. And one more thing. If the Coffee Mate segment made you wonder what to use instead, here are 3 clean creamer options. Nut pods, unsweetened, made from just water, coconut cream, and almonds, with 10 calories and 0 sugar per serving. Elmhurst, unsweetened oat creamer, containing only 5 ingredients with no gums, oils, or emulsifiers, the cleanest label on the market. Or simply organic grass-fed heavy cream from brands like Organic Valley. 1 ingredient, nothing to hide. There you have it. 10 coffee products to rethink immediately, and 4 that actually deserve your money. Before your next grocery run or drive-through visit, remember this. Check the sugar per serving, not per some artificially tiny serving size. Read past the front-of-label marketing claims. Look for third-party testing. And ask yourself whether you'd still buy it if the full ingredient list was printed in large font on the outside of the cup. Your morning coffee should wake you up, not slowly wear you down. The brands and products on this list have been getting away with it for years because nobody bothers to flip the bottle around and read the fine print. Now you know what it says. If this opened your eyes to what's really in your daily coffee, leave a like, drop a comment telling me which product shocked you the most, and share this with your family and friends who start every morning with one of these brands. They deserve to know what they're drinking. Subscribe and hit the bell so you never miss content exposing the hidden truth in everyday products. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.